Manual, Project 3, The Moral of the Story. John's objectives are to tell a story that is entertaining yet displays moral values, and to use the skills developed in other projects. The time for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. This story happened 40 years ago in Riggins, Idaho. However, the lessons involved in this story are timeless. Please welcome John Fry.
Two paroled felons from the Nevada State Penitentiary rolled into the town of Riggins 40 years ago on an October morning. One was in prison for aggravated assault, the other for robbery. Bad folks. They were going up through Idaho to make their way to Spokane. Idaho is shaped something like this. Riggins is about here. Little background, Riggins has today 400 people. And the economy is all based around logging, a little tourism. And even to this day, they don't have a sheriff or police station in Riggins. 400 people just can't do it. Furthermore, the county, the sheriff, of course, handles law enforcement in the county. The county of Idaho County goes something like that. There's 8,500 square miles in Idaho County. That's a little less than the land area of Connecticut, Delaware, and Rhode Island put together. The total population of Idaho County today is 14,000 people. 1970 was about 12,000. So you can see law enforcement, to say the least, would be scant in Idaho County. These felons are rolling through. They figure this is a perfect place to rob a bank. Let me tell you a little about the bank in Riggins, and if you go through today, it's still there. It's a cinder block building about a third of the size of this room, painted with nasty looking white paint. If you couldn't, the worst possible color you could pick, with a flat roof with tar gravel roof. Just the most unassuming little bank. If you were gonna be a bank robber, you'd roll into this town and you'd say, wow, there's not even a police station. They drove the roads in the town and figured out that there were no police cars anywhere. And this little bank looks about as unassuming and backwoods as you could get. Perfect place to rob a bank. So, 10 o'clock, the bank opens. They roll into the bank, pull out weapons, rob the two tellers that are there, lock the tellers in the safe. While the tellers are getting the money, though, they hit the alarm system for the bank. Now, keep in mind, this is 1970s. There's no satellites. There's, telephone probably only works sporadically there. So, no police station. So the alarm for the bank is hooked up in the local bar. Why the local bar? Well, the local bar is probably the place in town that is manned the most, given the logging culture. To give you an idea what the logging culture is like, in about 1976, I was driving through there with my friend Mike, who was going to Stanford, and Mike brought a hat to take with him to Stanford, and the hat said, "If you ain't a logger, you're not fill in the blank." So Mike showed up at Stanford with his logger hat. So anyway, you get an idea of the sort of people that are residents of Riggins. So the alarm goes off in the bar. The robbers have the cash. They're coming out. People in the bar step out on the curb and see the robbers take off in their car. Here was their plan. So Highway 95 goes like this. It's literally the only highway on this part of the state. Here's Riggins. The Salmon River runs something like that. And there's a Salmon River Road they saw the loggers go up. Salmon River Road dead ends here. but there's a loop back around that goes through Bergdorf Hot Springs, back around to 95. So their plan was take off up the Salmon River Road, you know, no police on that road, no highway patrol. Go back down here, hook into 95 and go to Boise. Here's where the plan fell apart. There were logging operations going on up in this area. So, I don't know if you all remember CB radios. The people in the bar jumped on the CB radio to their friends who were logging, and the logging truck friends put together this plan. They would wait until the car came by, and then the first log truck would jackknife itself in the road. The second log truck would jackknife itself before the robber's car got there. They would have them trapped in a steep canyon that they couldn't get around. Well, anyway, it worked perfectly. Robbers come by, first log truck, he jackknifes. The second log truck is miles up the road, they jackknife, and now the loggers are stuck. The truck drivers disappear into the woods, and an hour and a half later, the sheriff shows up to make the arrest. So the moral of the story, the easy moral of the story is don't judge a book by its cover. But I think there's something that's even more pertinent to our society today. You hear all the time, gee, you got to network. You know, you got to get out and network. You know, make contacts. You know, that's how you do business. Well, this was network at its most fundamental and pleasing level, because in order for this town to network, they really had to think about it. Well, you know, where are we going to put the alarm for the bank? We're going to put it in the bar. And then for this network to work, everybody needed to know each other, have common interests to arrest the bankers, know that their friends are logging up here, know that they're going up the road. So that's the moral of the story. Networks have been occurring for decades, and sometimes in the most unlikely places. Madam Toastmaster.